Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, August 8th, 2023. This is a public meeting and there are no lettings today, but we do have one hearing which we will handle at this time. Hearing number 129325 is being conducted pursuant to section 26.100.030 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether to revoke the conditional use permit number 129325 issued to Disselkamp Contracting, CO Robert Disselkamp, to occupy 6400 Gravois Avenue as a full package liquor store. The parties have been notified of the violations of the conditions of this conditional use permit in writing by certified mail, along with the posted notice of today's hearing date. This hearing has been convened in order to address the issues surrounding conditions number 4, number 6, and number 8 as follows. Condition number 4, there shall be no sale of items that can be used or intended for use as drug paraphernalia as defined in ordinance 68404 or its successor ordinances, including but not limited to food scales, glass tubes, disposable lighters with pop-off tops, steel scrubbing pads and screens, rolling papers, ephedrine or pseudoephedrine, diet supplements, sleep aids, bath salts, or other substitutes for illegal drugs. In addition, there shall be no sale of cigars or cigarillos commonly used or adapted for use involving a controlled substance, examples of which include but are not limited to the following: Backwoods, Dutch Masters, Garcia y Vega, Game, Optimo, Phillies, Splitterillos, Swisher Sweets, and White Owl. Condition number 6, there shall be no loitering, for which the applicant must post a no loitering sign and enforce it. And condition number 8, the applicant must apply for and receive a permit from the City of St. Louis Building Division before posting signage, and the signage must be professionally prepared and approved by the Office of the Zoning Administrator before being installed. The Office of the Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all the evidence of the zoning administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of this revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. Your testimony is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in by the secretary. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in about 2 weeks. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of the zoning code of the City of St. Louis. Item 2, the conditional use permit number 129325 issued on July 20th, 2021 for Disselkamp Contracting, CO Robert Disselkamp, to occupy 6400 Gravois Avenue as a full package liquor store. Item 3, a letter dated July 20th, 2023, sent certified mail to Disselkamp Contracting, CO Robert Disselkamp at 201 Sheridan Road, St. Louis, Missouri 63125, notifying the permit holder of the violation of the permit and providing notice of the public hearing regarding the revocation of conditional use permit number 129325 at 6400 Gravois Avenue to be held on August 8th, 2023. Item 4, a letter dated July 20th, 2023, sent certified mail to DBA Royal Liquors at 6404 Gravois Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 6464116, regarding the violation of the permit and providing notice of the public hearing regarding revocation of conditional use permit numbered 129325 to be held August 8th, 2023. Item 5, a memorandum dated July 11th, 2023, from the zoning plan examiner Terrell Island to the zoning administrator Mary Hart Burton, stating that on July 10th, 2023, Mr. Island found a violation of condition number 4, as there were for sale brands of cigars and cigarillos that were prohibited, such as Backwoods, Dutch Masters, and Swisher Sweets. Finding a violation of condition number 6, in that there was not a no loitering sign posted, and finding a violation of condition 8 due to adhesive unpermitted signage on the building advertising liquor products and promoting customers to shop local. Item 6, a copy of an email from Mary Hart Burton dated July 6, 2023 to Terrell Island requesting an inspection of 6400 Gravois to determine if the conditions were being violated. Item 7, a copy of an email from Terrell Island to Michelle Knox dated July 19, 2023 regarding the attached permit and contact information for 6400 Gravois Avenue. Item number 8, the conditional use hearing record of July 8, 2021 for 6400 Gravois Avenue, in which the applicant agreed not to sell any of the cigar or cigarillo products on the prohibited drug paraphernalia on the list. Item 9, a copy of the public notice of today's hearing in the City Journal dated July 25th, August 1st, and August 8th, 2023. Item 10, a copy of an email dated July 14th, 2023 from Mary Hart Burton to Michelle Knox regarding the scheduling of this hearing. Item 11, photographs dated July 10th, 2023 of a sign posted at 6400 Gravois, providing notice of the public hearing today in room 325, City Hall at 1:45. And item 12, additional photographs dated July 10th, 2023 of the outside conditions of 6400 Gravois and of prohibited cigars and cigarillos for sale inside the store. At this time, the board asks a representative of the Office of Zoning Administrator to please come forward and be sworn in.
Hey, my name is Kaushik Patel, and I would like to swear in for Diesel Camp.
Sir, we're calling the Office of Zoning Administrator, which is Mr. Island.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. I will call you in a minute. Go ahead, Mr. Island.
Hello, Terrell. Would you raise your right hand? Thank you. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give before this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the board.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Terrell Island, zoning plan examiner for the city of St. Louis, who performed the investigation for this establishment at 6400 Gravois Avenue. Upon doing my initial inspection, as the president has already stated, I found that there were 3 conditions in violation. The condition number 4 in regard of sale of items that can be used or intended for use for drug paraphernalia. And the President Bradley went through many of them already. And the violation was that there were some items on that list that were being sold in the store: Backwoods, Dutch Masters, Game, Optimo, and Swisher Sweets cigar cigarillos were for sale on and behind the sales counter. And there were also rolling papers and disposable lighters with pop-off tops on a lower shelf behind the counter, on the lower shelves rather. And then also number 6, in regard to the no loitering sign, there was no loitering sign outside on the premises when I did my initial investigation. And then also condition number 8, in regard to the signage, there were several signs that did not have a permit. The only sign that had a permit was the Royals Liquor sign, sorry. And all of the other signs, including the Captain Morgan sign, we consider that a sign since it's advertising. The product that the Captain Morgan liquor. So yes, the signs on the storefront, on the door on the side of the building, as well as the Captain Morgan sign, we didn't see a permit for those. So I went out and did a follow-up investigation just yesterday. And per the follow-up investigation, now the Backwoods, the Dutch Masters game, Optimo, and Swisher Sweets cigarillos were removed, as well as the rolling papers. There were none on the shelf, but there were still disposable lighters with pop-off tops way down at the bottom, pretty much, of the shelving. So that's the only thing that is in violation of that condition. And then number 8, the applicant must apply for and receive a permit from the City of St. Louis Building Division before posting signage. So again, the signs that are up currently, they do not have a permit. The only sign that we have a permit that he received is the Royals Liquor sign. He has applied for a permit for the remaining signs, but the only one that has a permit is the Royals Liquor sign. So he's in the process of coming into compliance. He made an application on August 3rd, 2023, but the sign application is under review. And this application, I think, is attached to the documents that I submitted. This application is to install 23 window signs, 1 ground sign, 2 of which are illuminated per plan. So he is working to come into compliance with the size, but those are the only 2 conditions that are in violation as of right now. The disposable lighters with the pop-off tops, and then the signs for which he has not received a permit for yet, but he has applied for the permit. Are there any questions or comments?
Okay, so I will start off and just, I'll give everybody a chance in just a second, just to be clear. So as of your re-inspection, he's still in a violation of condition number 4 and condition number 8, and he has corrected condition number 6, correct?
He has. There is a no loitering sign outside in the window. Well, it's posted inside of the window. It's inside of the store, I'm sorry, but it's facing the outside where customers can see them.
And it seems pretty straightforward to me that if there's something on the shelf that doesn't belong there, that's simply removing it. And the other item is, how long do you think it will take the building division and zoning to approve the permits that he's requesting now? Is that a week? Is it 2 weeks? What is your guess at that?
I don't know exactly the timeline in regard to the review of that application. It was not assigned to me. It was assigned to my coworker. And I don't know if he will need additional approvals before the permit is actually issued. Sometimes if there are too many signs, then he has to go before a zoning board, the Board of Adjustment, to get approval for the additional signage over and above what is allowed. So we will see what that review turns out to be. I don't know as of yet.
All right, very good. I will open the floor up for questions from any of our board members for Mr. Island. Are there any further questions from any of our board members? Okay. Seeing none, we will go ahead and say thank you for your time there, Mr. Island, and I will move on to the next step. Is there anyone else present who wishes to testify that the noted conditions have not been complied with and that would like to support the revocation? I don't see anyone on the screen. I don't see anyone in the chat. If you're supporting this revocation and you wish to testify, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect that there is no one present at today's hearing that wishes to testify in support of this revocation.
Can I or no? Sorry.
At this time, the board would ask the conditional use permit holder to come forward and be sworn in, and I assume, Mr. Patel, you are, are going to speak for the conditional use permit holder, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and swear him in, Michelle.
Please raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give before this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please state your name and address for the board.
Kaushik Patel, 871 Nardine Drive, Chesterfield, Missouri, 63017.
Okay, great. You can lower your hand. And I just, a couple of questions to start off with. So I'm assuming that you spoke with Mr. Island when he made his inspections, or someone did, is that correct?
I did.
And you understand the conditions that you're in violation of. It seems like as you've removed most of the items under condition 4, and you're applying for the permits under condition number 8, correct?
Yeah, there's a small changes. The changes is that I removed all the items that was in the list. So he's talking about a pop-off lighter, which I don't know if I could show you, but there's no pop-off lighter. This all lighters are the big lighters that we use for cigarettes. There's no pop-off lighter. We never had a pop-off lighters. But the one that he thought they were, I took those 2 out, and I can send you pictures or email you. But if you see that this is all the lighters I have, I just got the pictures from my employee.
So how I would respond to that is that you are still in violation of condition number 8 because you're applying for your signage. And so you're still waiting on that. On the condition number 4 item with the lighters, I would highly recommend that you and Mr. Island and Ms. Burton from the zoning staff have a conversation, and, they determine and you determine what is and what is not applicable. I really don't want to spend the time of this board discussing, different types of lighters. So we
No
would
problem.
recommend the staff and you work that out.
Yeah,
then
whatever
come back to
Mr.
us.
Charles doesn't want us, he can check it out, but I'll just put in my statement and I'll remove it. If he thinks that those lighters don't belong there, I don't have no problem.
Right, thank you. I appreciate that. And so I would ask you, probably open it up for questions. Is there anything that you would like to say other than that to the board? We do appreciate you working with the staff to get these things resolved. You have a conditional use permit that has.
Yeah,
conditions. We ask you to
only-
follow them, please.
Yes, sir. So only thing I would like, this would never happen because it never came into my attention. The name is Diesel came that pulled the permit on it, which has nothing to do with the Raw's Liquor DBA. Make sense? Because he's the construction guy and I'm the operator, Royal Liquor. So this notice would have been just me. Then if I would have known in the first place that the condition was like this, I would never have got to this point, sir. But no, whatever happened, and I'm ready to clear it out with you guys.
So are you saying that Disso Camp is not part of this business at all?
He's the contractor that pulls the permit to build the constructions.
I see. So, and you are the conditional use permit holder.
Yes,
Okay, so again, that is something that you need to get resolved with the zoning section, and they will get that cleared up with the secretary's office. So we have the proper contact on that, okay?
good. Yes, sir.
Great. Let me open the floor up for questions from any of our other board members for our conditional use permit holder.
I just had a question, comment, if you will, for Mr. Patel. Mr. Patel, based upon the testimony earlier, it was very detailed and specific. So you've applied for the permits for the signage, and you're obviously clear on what signs need to be approved, correct?
Yes, if you like me to state all of them, I can, if you like me to, and I did it in the groups.
Sure, that's not necessary, again, echoing President Bradley's comments, as long as you're on the same page with the
Yeah.
other city staffers, that's good to get that resolved so we wouldn't have to meet again.
Yes, it's clear and cut.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Director. Any other questions or comments from any of our other board directors? Okay, seeing none. Mr. Patel, do you have anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, sir. At this time, the board asked if there's anyone present opposing this revocation that wishes to testify. please come forward and be sworn in. I do not see anyone on the screen. I do not see anyone in the chat. If you are opposing the revocation and you are someone other than the conditional use permit holder, you wish to testify, please bring it to my attention at this time. Seeing none, let the record reflect there is no one present at today's hearing opposing this revocation. The matter concerning hearing number 128344 is now closed and submitted. The board will now proceed with its regular agenda. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Present.
Director Davis, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Here.
Director Scobie,
Present.
Director Williams, President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I'll call a meeting order.
From the president, recommendation that approval be given as follows. Amendment number 1 to Facilities Management Division's Plumbing Services Contract Number 77960 with Teresi Plumbing Services. This first amendment hereby adds subsection A to page 3, section 4, scope of work. The maximum not to exceed amount has changed to $15 million for the life of the contract. Amendment number 2 to Facilities Management Division's Electrical Service Contract number 76921 with RJB Electric LLC. This second amendment hereby increased the maximum not to exceed amount to $15 million, and exhibits A and B shall supersede and replace the existing exhibits from the contract. Amendment number 2 to Facilities Management Division's Pest Control Services, contract number 77016 with Rottler Pest Solutions. This second amendment hereby increases the maximum not to exceed amount to $1,500,000. Exhibit A-2 through A-9 supersedes and replaces the same from the original contract. Equipment Services Division Amendment 1, certified diagnosis, repair, replace, service, and test electrical hydraulics, ladders, plumbing, pumps, and torque boxes on fire apparatus, equipment, and fire trucks. Does not include the engines and transmission service contract number 74740 by and between the city of St. Louis, Missouri and Banner Fire Equipment Incorporated. The maximum not to exceed $300,000. Supplemental agreement number 1 to PSA number 1223, design services for Terminal 2, building expansion and improvements to the inbound baggage carousels, St. Louis Lambert International Airport with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company Incorporated in the amount of $3,342,354.55 and is amended to modify the scope of work authorized by ordinance number 70617. Supplemental agreement number 1 to PSA number 1226, task order contract for principal arterials, traffic safety, and other associated improvements with Lockmuller Group Incorporated in the amount of $1,500,000. This supplemental agreement is amended to modify the scope of work and is authorized by ordinance number 70617. Supplemental agreement number 4 to PSA number 1202, removal and replacement of Southwest and Columbia Bridge over Union Pacific Railroad, STP-9900-675 with HDR Engineering Incorporated in the amount of $4,900 and is amended to modify the scope of work authorized by ordinance number 69994. Transmitted herewith for award is proposed contract with Interface Construction Corporation for Public Works advertised under letting number 8749. Terminal 2 entrance door improvement at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. The proposed contractor has furnished a performance bond as required by the city charter. Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission's STP Program Supplemental Agreement, STP 9901 663 by and between Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission and the city of St. Louis to grant the use of STP funds to the city. Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Congestion Mitigation and Air Quality Agreement, CMAQ 9901 690 by and between the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission and the city of St. Louis to authorize funding of projects providing for congestion mitigation and air quality. Addendum number 1 for plans and specifications for letting number 8762 BPS project R 2022-80-065 renovations to Comfort Station at St. Louis Place Park, which has been issued to modify the bidding schedule. From the Office of Special Events, request that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 5 special events to be declared as festival zones. Number 1, Oil of God Street Festival will take place on Gano Avenue between Carter and West Florissant on August 12, 2023 at 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Number 2, City SC Block Party, amendment to service request number 169-6479 and permit number 131-612 to add the remaining 2023 dates, August 20th, 30th, September 2nd, 9th, 17th, 20th, 23rd, 29th, and 30th, October 1st, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10, 11, 14, 20th, 21, 22nd, 24th through the 31st, November 1st through 12th, 24, the 25th and the 26th, December 1st through 3rd, the 8th and the 9th. Number 3, Moonlight Ramble will take place in the streets throughout the city on August 26th through the 27th, 2023 at 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Setup and tear down will be from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. Number 4, Families ROC will take place at Eternal Flame Park and downtown streets on October 8, 2023 at 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Setup and tear down will be from 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. Number 5, Halloween in Central West End will take place at the intersection of Maryland and Euclid on October 28, 2023 at 10 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Setup and tear down will be from 6 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. From the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 131796, request from Gateway Fireworks Display to provide a fireworks display in Forest Park for the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra at Art Hill, September 21st, 2023 at approximately 8:15 to 9 p.m. at the foot of Grand Basin. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency actions the following: replacement of the east and west gate house roof at the Stacy Park Reservoir. The estimated cost of this work is $16,000. From the Director of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request from Metron Surveying and Layout Company to consolidate the lots at 3717 and 3719 Oregon Avenue in City Block 1634. From the Directors of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that one application from Charter be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 00121 for 2145 Hampton Avenue. From the Director of Public Safety, there are 4 conditional use permits. You're muted, Steve.
Sorry. Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Steve Narr, zoning plan examiner for the city of St. Louis, representing the building commissioner per board order number 766, transmitted here with our recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval is recommended for 2 applications, 3125 Merrimack Street and 3606 Eiler Street. And the recommendation for a conditional use permit number 3, 311 to Bolivar Avenue
Thank you, Steve. Are there any questions on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion, please.
So moved, Pearson.
Second, Scobie.
And I'm assuming that's a motion to approve, correct, Director Pearson?
That's correct.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams, President Bradley.
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Thank you. Hearing number 129325-RH for Royal Package Liquor, 6400 Gravoy Avenue, full package liquor store. Originally, they were in violation of three conditions. Condition 4, sale of items for drug paraphernalia. Item 6, no loitering sign, and item 8, which is other signage without a permit. We heard from Mr. Island that on condition number 6, the no loitering sign has been resolved. Condition 4, there is still a question and determination about pop-off lighters. And on condition number 8, the applicant has applied for permits for signage with the building division zoning section, which are still in review process. So with that little bit of a history, I will open the floor up for discussion from the board.
It seems to me that he has a couple of issues to resolve, but he's working towards it and is willing to resolve them. So to my mind, it's a question, how much time do we give him? Would 30 days be adequate for him to resolve all of his issues?
That's a good point, Director. Any further comments or discussion?
I agree with Kurt. That we don't want, I believe has a good faith effort of getting these things done with the signage applications. I just don't want to put an arbitrary time or date of 30 days if in fact it can't happen that way with the city in 30 days. So that's just my comment. I'll be prepared to make a motion here in a minute if necessary.
And so I did ask that question from Terrell for that very reason, that trying to figure out what the time frame is. As he indicated, there could be some additional approvals that could be required. So, you're correct, Director, that 30 days, it seems reasonable. We really don't know at this time, what that approval process could be. And then beyond that, obviously, there's this discussion about an additional conditional use permit for the same business at another location. So I think at this point, we have to make a reasonable assumption of what that might be and go from there. And then, of course, if the approvals aren't in place, then we would just have to push it to a further date. So I'll entertain a motion if someone wants to make one for whatever time frame you guys think are reasonable.
I'll just split the difference of what I was thinking between 30 and 60 and say, give the gentleman 45 days. He appears earnest in his efforts and it looks like he's taking it very seriously. So I make a motion to provide him with the 45-day window.
Hey, I have a motion. Do I have a second to that motion?
Second, Scobie.
Thank you. Any further discussion before we vote? Seeing none, can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams, President Bradley.
Aye, approved 45 days. Thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. Are there any questions or comments on those meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
I move to approve, Scobie.
Second, Coyle. Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams, President Bratton.
Aye, the meeting minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on our meeting agenda today?
I move to approve today's agenda.
Second Pearson.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis, Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams, President Bratton.
Aye, today's meeting agenda is approved. Thank you. I would like to ask if there's any questions or comments from any of our board directors before we adjourn today's meeting.
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second, Scobie.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye, meeting adjourned. Thank you. all. Have a nice afternoon.